Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be looking at Phantom. Before we jump into the price action, I just want to say thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and why not leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. There are some very exciting things happening. So once you're in the general chat area, just mention a member of staff and we'd be happy to help you out with anything you may need. Okay, so let's get into the fun stuff here. So effectively what we were talking about was the possibility that we could be looking to come down for this fourth wave. For the most part, this could still be valid, but what we'd want to start to see here is see some impulsive structure playing out to the upside, something to this effect. We want to see a five-wave move play out here. Typical zone we'd actually look to target would be this 94.53 to the 75.10 zone. That would be a typical fifth wave zone. And what obviously, once we start to get more structure here, we can start to forecast this a little bit better. But until we do, all we have is a single five-wave move here, and we need to be careful that it isn't a corrective structure in a B wave in this location here. And we could actually look to push down deeper towards this 3506. So we're going to talk about a couple of things that we're currently tracking within this move. Okay, so for the most part, the last time we were talking about this, we were talking about the possibility of a five-wave move, and I'm going to come down here to smaller time frames, and we're talking about that possibility of it completing into here as a fifth wave. So this is obviously this is valid still. We can also argue that potentially we could count this as an A, this is a B, and then potentially a C wave to the upside. So we need to just be a little bit careful here because the rejection area we were talking about previously was actually this 0670 to this 0571. So it's 050757. So this is a zone we actually come up here and we're coming towards a 618 retracement here. Actually, we've hit it at this 5372. So it'll also be interesting to see how we react in this area. There is potential to start breaking to the upside here, and we will talk about that. But there is also that potential that, we complete this five-wave move and then we look to break down. So there will be the important thing here will be the retracement off of the back of this. What we'd want to see is finding that support in that 50% to that 786 range and then actually looking to progress up if we are looking for that fifth wave. We also need to just be careful though, because if we do have a five-wave structure and we do count this as a five-wave move down into here, what we could be setting up for is, like I said, this B wave retracement. So even if we do form a five-wave move here and we do come back, we find support back in these zones and we push up one more time, potentially we could still face rejection towards a 786, potentially this point here, or alternatively it could actually just come and we could have a shorter C wave and potentially just actually look to retest this golden pocket area again. However, if we did actually find that B wave retracement, it would be more likely we push up slightly higher here, potentially. Obviously, this is not completed, so this is just basically looking, towards that 1-to-1 would be that 59 area. So that could take us back up to that 60 cents at range if we are looking just as a corrective structure. So we need to just be a little bit careful with this. Like I said, we could just form this as a correction and then look to break down. Alternatively, we can argue that instead of looking at this five-wave move, potentially just count this as an ABC into here. And then we could have this as a completed A wave, formed a flat here for B, and then we could actually look to break down. So if we fail to maintain this 4110 area, my next target I would be looking for would potentially be this 3420 at a 1-to-1. So that would be 1-to-1 of this A wave. So the C wave would be the same length. This does typically happen, though sometimes they can fall slightly short. So another area of interest would be potentially this fourth wave down here at this 3610 area if we do actually look to push down one more time from this area. But for the most part, this is what I'm still tracking is this potential of a five-wave structure to the upside here. And really, until we actually break this high point of this 65.53, we can still look for this continuation to the downside. So we just need to be a bit cautious within the wave structure here. This starts to extend up here. Like I said, this would be the target area we're looking for, that 94.53 to that 75.10 range. Okay, so let's get into this upward move now. Basically, the way that I'm looking at it, if I just turn this off, I'm going to turn on the breakout, and I think I might actually turn that off as well. So the way I'm currently looking at the structure is the potential. So there is also potential we could have an additional extension in here where we do have an additional one, two, and then basically this would just push this count sideways. So if we do continue to push up here, that would be what I would be anticipating. However, it is also possible that this is the correct count that we've got marked down here, where we count this as potentially a one, two. All of this would become a third wave. So we're looking for this as a fourth wave here and then potentially looking for this as a fifth. So we'll have to just see if we continue to set higher lows here, it could mean that there's further extension within the waves, and effectively we could see this progress up where we get something like this, where this becomes an additional one, two, we find support, and then we push up for three, four, five. In which case, that would then make me believe that we are actually still within this third wave here and potentially looking to actually push up higher into these zones. But given the current structure that we have, if we do actually start to break down and we actually take this low of this 50.87, what I would be looking for is this zone here, this 51.15 to this 48.30. And that would be a typical fourth wave area that we'd be looking off based off of this current structure. If we do move up here, this will move this slightly. But even if this fifth wave does extend up a bit here, what I'd be looking for is basically a retest of this previous fourth with this fourth wave here. So this would be something that could be possible. It depends. If we start to get too much extension, sometimes we won't actually come back and retest these. Or alternatively, this is not the fourth wave within this, and this is actually extending out, and this third wave is becoming longer here. So this is just something we've got to keep an eye out. But for the most part, this is what I'm currently looking at. I want to see if we get rejection here, see if we fall back down into this zone and see whether we get this pushback to the upside here to this 56.96 to this 55.09. Basically, also depending on how deep this comes, this will affect this target range as well. And what we'd want to see is, like I was saying earlier, we want to see this five-wave structure play out and then look for this retracement. This could be slightly higher up, depending on how high this move comes exactly. But this is the zone I'm currently targeting. If we do move into this zone and we get this retracement, for instance, back to this 50%, could be quite an interesting zone, a retest of this previous resistance area. Then we could actually look for a bigger move to the upside, where either this move, like I said, becomes an ABC, and I'm just going to take it into there and onto this 50%, and we actually look to push up towards the 64.98, or alternatively, this does move up higher towards the 78.49, 48, and then we could look at this rather as a five-wave structure, where this becomes a wave one, two, up for this as a three, come back down for a fourth, and then we get a fifth wave up, which would tie in quite nicely with this fifth wave box area that we have marked out here. So we'll have to monitor this. Obviously, it is always possible we can see extensions within these, and it is also always possible these fourths can fail to develop and we just get three-wave structure and break down. But like I said as well, even if we do form this five-wave structure here, we need to just be careful because we're right within that rejection zone. And really, until we actually take this high point here, we need to just be careful because this could even still form a flat correction here, where actually we form a five-wave move. We come back for B, we come up for a C wave, and then basically all we would have is a A, B, and then potentially still looking for that C wave to the downside. Or alternatively, then we could look to potentially form some kind of a diagonal here where we form a contracting wedge shape to the upside. So these are all possibilities for the time being. We don't have enough information, but we will be looking out for this and we'll try to keep you up to date as best we can. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave the video there. It's important here if we're looking for this five-wave structure up that we maintain this 4110 area. If we start to lose that, then we could be looking for that lower target range that we talked about within this as a fourth, which would be this 3506 range. Starting to break down below that area would actually then indicate that we could potentially be actually starting to break down deeper here, and that support zone would be this 3281 to this 2211. Though we need to bear in mind we can also potentially count this from further back here as a fourth wave. So if we do fail to actually break up and continue this move, even if we do continue as a five wave structure up here, we could still break down for this fifth wave to the downside. So we just need to be a little bit careful of that fact. Um, Within this structure, we could still have a fifth wave to the downside, which depending on how high we go, I mean, this has worked off this area, could mean that we push down towards this 1457 to this 0912, but this will adjust depending on how high we come here. So we just need to give it a bit of space. But yeah, basically this is the lowest support range I'd be looking for if we fail to develop this fourth wave, this fifth wave to the upside rather. And if we fail, and basically if we fail to hold this 2211 and break down below the 1642, that would invalidate any kind of an impulsive potential here, and we'd actually be looking for a much lower target, potentially coming to look at retesting this channel line or potentially looking to push deeper. We'd have to see how the structure plays out at that point. Okay, I'm going to leave it there, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and why not leave us some feedback down below. In the description, you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out there. It's free to join. Once in the general chat area, just mention a member of staff. We'll be happy to help you out with anything you may need. In the description, you will also find affiliate links for both Prime XBT and BYBIT, both great exchanges that we use on a regular basis. Check them out. If you use the affiliate link, it does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. Everyone, have a great day. We'll see you in the next one.